Off real quick before I go to work. I tell y'all all the time, I only speak from personal experience. I do not make assumptions. Here is my personal experience with China. I did have a Chinese last name for 3 years. I had a Chinese father-in-law, and I flew through China 3 or 4 times. Okay, I had layovers in Hong Kong, Guangzhou, and Shanghai. So I spent some time in China. I spent some time in Chinese settings. I spent time around Chinese American people, and I had the benefit of having a Chinese last name, so that did bring about some assumptions that I was Chinese before they met me face to face. So I got some Chinese treatment every once in a while. With that being said, here's what I know about China based on my experience. Anytime I landed in China, I couldn't access Facebook, I couldn't access WhatsApp, I couldn't access Instagram. Do you know why? Because China is highly censored. They censor their population. This is why Chinese people do not have access to TikTok, except for right now, when all of a sudden they're pushing consumerism onto all of us. China is a semi-pseudo-communist country. China maintains whatever economic and governmental system that allows them to have complete control over their people and over the market. They don't respect their own people. Their people don't have freedoms. Do you really think, you Americans, do you really think that they respect you, that they respect us? No, absolutely not. There is a reason why these people are on TikTok all of a sudden, desperately pushing these items onto all of y'all. Because they do not have consumer power over there. All the consumer power is over here. Everything says made in China over here because we are the consumers. The consumers have the power. They need us to spend our money over there. Those of you Americans who are rooting for China, you're weird. You wouldn't last a day in China. First of all, you probably wouldn't even be able to get over there. They aren't even friendly when it comes to giving Americans visas, which is why I've only ever been in the airport, because you're not allowed to leave the airport in China. They don't hand out visas at the airport. You got to go through a process.
Is fully prepared to fight to the very end, because the world is big enough that the United States is not the totality of the market in the world. So if the United States wants to go in that direction of completely shutting itself out of the China market, be my guest.
Yeah, and China will lose the US market, which, as I've said, is 15%.
We don't care. We don't care. China has been here for 5,000 years. Most of the time, there was no United States, and we survived. And if the United States wants to bully China, we will deal with the situation without the United States. And we expect to survive for another 5,000 years. China is fully prepared to fight.
The first time in 91 I arrived in Beijing, there was no car, only bicycles. And we were opening the first Louis Vuitton shop. I remember I called my team, said, "Are you sure we are going to be successful?" Since a few weeks the shop was open, we sell the most expensive products in a country where everybody was going by bicycle.
Suppliers behind Louis Vuitton in China. Very few people know those suppliers because most of them have signed a confidential agreement with Louis Vuitton. But here, I will tell you something about them. 50% of the hardware, accessories, and the leather materials are all from these 2 cities, Guangzhou and Foshan, and 90% of the silks are all from Winsley in Hangzhou. You know, I have a friend who is the manager of a leather factory in Guangzhou. He told me that the cost of some products only less than $50, and how much they sell you in the boutique store. Okay guys, tell me in the comment section how much you ever spent for Louis Vuitton.
Hey folks, I want y'all to know that just because China isn't pro-Trump doesn't mean that they're pro-American or pro-black people. So when y'all start trying to support some shit because you lack the support, I don't think they're the target audience you should be supporting.
So what y'all upset for? You got what you wanted. You wasn't buying the bag, you was buying the name. Because if you was buying the bag, you could get a purse for $5 at Burlington's, Target, Walmart. You wanted the name. So it didn't matter about the bag. You could have bought FUBU shoes. You could have bought some Shaqs. You wanted Nike because of the name. You didn't care about the quality. You cared about the name. You wanted Ralph Lauren. You could have bought Polo Assassin. You wanted Gucci and Gabbana and this and that. You wanted the name. You didn't care about the bag, the clothes. You wanted the name. You still getting the name. Why are y'all complaining? You wanted the name. Because you could have easily made your own clothes, your own bags, and everything else. But you wanted to spend millions upon billions of dollars of the black community's money on an image. And now you're upset because someone ruined the image. You're getting what you wanted, the name.
I thought TikTok was banned in China, so how are we all seeing this guy anyway? This is just one gentleman out of many people that have started to come out and basically start exposing what all these luxury brands use as their supplier and manufacturer. But again, my question remains, I thought TikTok was banned in China, so how the hell are we seeing all this? They are everything. They blew up past Leo Skeppy. I want to tell you right now, he comes up on my FYP at least 5 times in a 1 minute spree, like of just scrolling. I see them all the time. But again, how? And again, I think that the intent was to destroy the brands that we have here in the States, because now they're reaching out to all of us consumers and trying to get us directly. Now, I think that they're still going to go through a whole lot of trouble. I think that there's going to be a lot of unemployed people in China because we're not ordering shit the way that these companies did. That's just the reality of it. Something ain't right. Something honestly doesn't feel right, and I guess by the end of this all, we may just get to the bottom of it.
These prices you would have never heard before in your life. Niggas is eating it up, though. Chinese companies are so smart, and they're working their way around Donald Trump's tariffs, and... Oh my god, shut the hell up. How the fuck can you not see that Donald Trump is exposing the truth to everybody? Niggas are paying $500 for flip-flops! It costs 10 seconds to make, let alone 10 cents! China, you had a great run. Everything made in China. It's America's turn. Ow! Keep it up, Donald Trump. You got China jumping through all kinds of hoops. China meeting with Vietnam today. Donald Trump already know they on some bullshit. Whatever they gonna cook up, guess what? Vietnam, beat your mom, nigga, I'm calm. USA in 5.